Happy Sunday, guys. We are back. This is Brandon,
And this is Jeremy.
and we are here to give it to you live. Back at you on this great football Sunday, man. Jeremy, how you doing, man? How's the weekend going for you, brother? How you been?
Man, everything's been good,
Okay.
celebrating the wife's birthday this weekend.
Okay, happy
She
birthday.
so she went, we went out, we had a good dinner, we actually just me and her, my older son came over and watched, his little brother. So that was nice of him. Thank you, Jaden. Watched his little brother and we went out to dinner. In the morning time though, we did go out breakfast, the three of us went out to breakfast and had a good breakfast over there and did that stuff. Kate got her nice little happy birthday song from our 8-year-old first thing in the morning. That's what she woke up to, was him singing her happy birthday. So that
I
was pretty
like
cool.
it. I like it. That's nice. Absolutely, man. Well, we've been moving. My wife and I, we've been moving and getting stuff ready. Y'all know how it is when you're moving into a new spot, man. You got stuff that you didn't know. You accumulate so much stuff, man.
Don't even know where it came
Yeah,
from.
it's
You're
like,
man, I forgot I even had that.
so you're purging now. You're throwing stuff away. You're giving stuff away. Oh, if anybody needs a weed whacker, let me know. Comment down here. And when you're commenting, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, watch it, tell your friends about it, share it with your friends, please. But yeah, I'm serious about that weed whacker. It's free. You can come get it. But yeah, other than that, man, we moved because, man, we were preparing for a little one, man. I am going to be a girl dad. A lot of close friends and family already knew, but for those who didn't know, your boy is about to be a daddy. I'm about to be responsible for somebody. So y'all just pray for me, pray for her, pray for my wife. But no, in all serious note, man, we're super excited, man. It's a blessing. I always wanted to be a dad, so this is great to actually, get that opportunity to be a father and try to give some good values to another human being and hopefully make that human being somebody that could possibly touch lives and be important in this world, man. Because we need more good people in this world for sure.
I hear you, definitely. I mean, as a girl dad of 20 years, it's one of the most amazing things.
Yeah.
It'll be end up being the thing that not to get at the wife, but that daughter's gonna be the new sparkle in your eye. You're always gonna love the wife, but the
Yeah.
daughter's always got their daddy wrapped around their finger. You'll figure that out real quick. You'll be like, oh, she's not gonna get me. Oh, she's gonna get you.
She got me.
She probably
Okay.
already got you. So you can learn that real quick.
That's for sure.
My daughter, as much as she drives us nuts sometimes, she's absolutely amazing. I'm sure eventually you'll see her on the show with us. Um, she's a lot of fun. She owns her own business at 20 years old, so she's doing phenomenal. Obviously, I think you'll be a phenomenal dad. My kids
Appreciate
love
it.
you. They love their Uncle Brandon. So and that's how it's always go. And that's the way it always been. Like when we say Uncle Brandon's a brother. Maybe not in blood, but we've known each other for 25 years. Dates all the way back. When we worked together at Farm Fresh. Back when that was.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. 16, 17 years old, first gig. Me trying to make this little. What was I making? 7.25 back then.
Man,
Good
I was making like $5.50.
Man, that was ridiculous. Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I was already bossing up over y'all already, making $2 more. Let's get it. Yeah, man. It was yeah. We met then and just through conversation of sports, and then this man had the nerve to say he could play basketball. So I had to bring him on the up the street to Princess Anne. What was that? Princess Anne Rec. We played the place that's notorious for always having either a volleyball net up or some type of competition on Saturday when it was supposed to be open gym. Kids camp.
Kids camp.
Can't play basketball on a Saturday. The only day we could play because we work and go to school. Imagine that. So pickleball, that was huge. They had an ultimate crab walking. Anything but basketball. Anything but basketball. So but yeah, we got an opportunity to play, and this man's got some game out here, man. So we start hustling like we was out here in White Men Can't Jump. Billy Hoyle was his name, for real, for real.
We had a good time. I was always I was small back then. I was about 100 pounds lighter than I am now.
Paper bag.
I was like 135, 140, soaking wet. And it was always funny. Brandon was too big to do anything but go down low, and I was too small to get down low. And the funny part it was usually the other way
The
around.
exact opposite.
The
I'm
exact
running
opposite.
point.
And
Yeah.
most of the time, I think the very first game we ever played together 2-on-2, we lost, and then I don't think we lost again for like 3 years.
Yeah, and that's not we're not playing around. It was 3 years, so um, I know people be like, "Oh, well, lace up, we'll play y'all right now." Nah, dog, that was 20 years ago, bro. We got bad knees and back. Catch me out here. I'll give you a nice game of horse if you want that. But man, it the game of basketball just brought two random people together, um, and formed not only a bond but a brotherhood, a friendship. So it just goes to show you that sports can be beyond just numbers and X's and O's and who won the game. I mean, it could really impact people's lives just through you know sports, moving around, getting active, and being involved. But yeah, hey man, enough of us. You know what we came to do. We just wanted to touch a little bit into that and give our watchers a little, just a little personal of what we're doing, man. We're humans too.
And before we move on, Brandon, he says that, but if you want that smoke, throw it down in the comments.
Okay,
we'll play
let's
you
go.
2-on-2. I'm ready. Let's go.
I gotta back them up too, bro. I'm ready. Okay,
Let's go. So if you want that 2-on-2, you want that smoke, we ain't as good as we once was, but we'll be as good once as we ever was. If you want it, come get it.
Let's
Throw
go.
it down in the comments. We're ready.
I like that.
Okay? So, but like Brandon said, we're going to move on. It is Sunday.
It is Sunday. You already see. I'm in the war. I got my war outfit on already. Y'all already see. Y'all see what's going on. We got them Rams today. I don't even know what to say. Y'all know if checked out the last episode, I speak about having no line. We need a line like yesterday. So if it was up to me, I'd say tank the rest of the game so we can get a good draft pick. But that's just me. Go Pats, though. Go Pats. Let's go.
What's crazy is when you look at the standings. I think
okay.
the Dolphins and the Patriots are like dead even, and it seems like the teams have two completely different mindsets. With only being one game out in the loss column from the last playoff spot, it seems crazy. But the Pats, who are still rebuilding, they still got their new coach. The Dolphins have some veterans, especially Tyreek Hill and things like that. So they're looking to try to make a run to playoffs now that their quarterback's back. With Tua back, they beat the Rams last week in LA. And put tough games against Buffalo and Arizona. Arizona playing crazy right now. So we'll see how that goes. But as you can see behind us, as we were talking about, we have two pretty much in every single sport. We have
a difference.
It's a division rivalry.
Yeah.
Even all the way down to college. They've switched conferences at this point. But when we were met, Syracuse, Connecticut, big rivalry. Bayheim and Calhoun.
And shout out Syracuse. I just saw that y'all got Carmelo, son out here. He just committed yesterday or the day before. So that should be huge for Syracuse. I don't know if he'll do exactly what his dad did the first year, but I mean, we're not here to compare. He's nasty. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But shout out to Syracuse, man. That was a big pick for them.
Yeah, I hope so. Our only championship is with Carmelo in his freshman year. Him and McNamara.
Oh yeah, them boys was nasty.
So they shout out to that. But back to the NFL. You guys have the Rams. It's gonna be a tough game for you. Best of non-luck to you. I don't think you. I don't think you're gonna get that one.
we're just real young right now. I'll throw up the rebuilding card. That's where we're at right now. We're just rebuilding. We're trying new stuff. We're trying to see what's going on. So, I just don't want nobody to get hurt. Really, I'm gonna watch because I'm a fan, but we just don't want nobody to get hurt. We want a good draft pick. We need some guys to be there to just really block for my man Drake May because he's been running for his life and he's taking hits. He's taking too many unnecessary hits, and we don't like that. So, but to me, the game that I'm watching, the team that I've been watching is Baltimore. I really like Lamar Jackson, and a lot of people have been giving him a lot of slack of, him not being a pocket quarterback and he shouldn't run all the time. But I look at it like, hey man, if I can make a play happen with my feet, I'm going to try to do something because this game is about inches, and if it's 3 and out every time and we can't move the ball, y'all already know what happens. That could be an L, Well,
so. I mean, what's crazy is, and Lamar Jackson's going to become a better passer, but he was never a bad passer. I mean, as a guy that, enjoyed watching guys like Michael Vick and, Tim Tebow and stuff like that, those guys couldn't sit back there and throw the ball consistently. Michael Vick was just a straight athlete. Tim Tebow, athlete, bruiser. They tried so hard to get that man to change positions, to tight end or something, but it's not what he wanted to do. And you know, difference Lamar Jackson and I'll say Josh Allen as well. They both can throw from the pocket if they need to. They just can make plays happen that most other normal human beings
Right.
cannot. And hate him, love him, whatever. If To me, if you're hating Lamar Jackson, that's all you're doing is hate. The man is a machine. He's won his MVPs. He's sitting right there. He sits right in the middle to the, top 10 quarterbacks in passing yards every year. But then on top of it, he turns around and ends up being one of the top rushers. And yes, I'm counting running back. He's usually a top 5, top 6 rusher in the league too.
Right.
So when you're doing both, and now he's got that monster standing behind him, he don't have to run quite as much. But with Derrick Henry, they're learning real. You take a team that was already always like right there as the top rushing team in the NFL. Now you add Derrick Henry. It's almost not fair. The games they've lost, it's almost some mental lapses. And their defense is good, but not those old defense. Them defensive, teams of old like
Well,
Baltimore
they don't have Ray Lewis up there no more. So
or Ed Reed.
yeah, I mean these guys are. I mean those are one of ones. But I mean I can agree with you what you're saying. I mean, come on, man. This man to me has proven. The only thing he hasn't done is gotten a ring. So it's still one of those things where the game has changed. The game is changing. We can't expect every quarterback to look the same. We can't expect these guys to stay in the pocket and take hits just because that's what your granddaddy's team used to do or your daddy's team used to do. It's a new day. You got guys that are twice your size coming after you, and they're fast too. These guys are running. You guys watch the combine. These big dudes, 320. They running 4.6, 4.8, 4.9s. We ain't got time to stay in the pocket. If you can use your feet, you better get out of there, or it's going to be a real quick season for you, man. Come on now. I think we gotta get our minds adjusted to a different style of play and moving forward. I mean, we got some freakish athletes that can run and throw the ball, so guys don't have to stay in the pocket and take hits just to appease to a certain crowd of people that watch football. Come on
Yeah.
now.
You look at some of the top teams. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is definitely a pocket passer, but when he has to, he can get out of the pocket and make things happen. He would be, obviously, he's kind of the bar right now. I mean, they've won three Super Bowls in the last 5 years. And that was another thing. I mean, you said he hasn't won a ring yet. Who in the AFC has won a ring outside of Patrick Mahomes?
Come on.
I don't think there's one in there. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but it's either been Kansas City or someone from the NFC that's won it, over the last whatever years. And then you go back before that, it was Tom Brady 6 times in the AFC.
Go.
So, AFC, it's hard to get that Super Bowl ring out of the AFC because it's like they replaced one, dynasty with the next, and that's something that the rest of the AFC has to fight against right now. Ask Josh Allen. Josh Allen is probably a perfect example. Right there, can run and pass the ball. And he's literally run into Kansas City over and over and over again. It's just whether or not he becomes, he ends up becoming the John Elway who eventually gets over the hump and gets that ring, or he's my guy Dan Marino, and he can just never get past. Dan Marino could never get past the Buffalo Bills in the AFC. So, that's which one is he going to be? When is he going to eventually? Well, we could find a small tidbit of that today.
Are rings really what we would measure as a legend, a champion? Because we can go across the board, sport for guys that I feel should have deserved rings, but they had a couple people that stopped them. So it's one of those things too where what defines a true winner? Everybody will say, well, how many rings does he have? How many times did he get to the Super Bowl? Did he win the Super Bowl? I know we can remember when Cam Newton was on that run with the Panthers, and them boys couldn't. I mean, it seems like they couldn't lose. They're out here dabbing. We're having a great time out here. Then we get to the Super Bowl, and only thing people talk about is the fact that he didn't win and that he didn't dive on the fumble. So
To me, it comes down to, and I'm a massive Dolphins fan, and my guy growing up, Dan Marino, is probably the biggest example of a legend, a Hall of Famer who never won one. I mean, There's guys in every sport that's the case. But Dan Marino, probably across the sports world, would be known as maybe the best athlete not to win a championship in his sport. There's a couple other ones out there, of course, but that's to me. Dan Marino, he was throwing for these yards that these guys are nowadays. Back in the '80s and '90s, he's the only one left in the top 10 that in all these touchdown yards categories, he's one of the only ones left from back in the '80s, early '90s. And then Brett Favre came late '90s and into the early 2000s. He's the other one that's in there, but there's no one. You look at guys like Troy Aikman, who's a Hall of Famer who won 3 rings. Uh, Brady, Mahomes, Manning. These guys were throwing for the amount of yards he threw in his career in 4 seasons.
Right, right.
So, to me, I'm a 50-50 guy. You got to put 50% into their winning and then 50% into their stats. That's where it comes in. That's when you rank it. That's why, as much as I hate him, Jersey up there on top sitting behind us, it drives me nuts to say. But man has 7 Super Bowl rings, most yards ever, most touchdowns ever. I don't understand the Patrick Mahomes is great. He got a long way to go. Got a long way to go before he catches him. I don't even put him in the top 3 yet.
Mm.
I got Peyton Manning ahead of him right now, even though he has 1 less Super Bowl ring. Peyton Manning was phenomenal for a lot of years and probably gets 5 or 6 rings if it wasn't for that man being great. And we'll see. Patrick Mahomes could win 3 more, 4 more. He may never win again. That's how these sports work. They said Dan Marino, his second season, he won the Super Bowl. Oh, he's going to have many more. He never made it back again.
So will the talk change if Patty and the crew wins? I mean, this year, and then they go 3-peat?
First time ever.
So now it no. I mean, my boys did that, right? Correct.
No, 3 and 4 years.
Oh
no one's
man,
ever won a
I try to
3-peat
sneak
in the
that in
NFL.
there. You see, I try to sneak that in there.
No one's
just
ever
to
done
make
a 3-peat
see.
in
I
the
was trying to
NFL.
see. I was trying to see if he knew something. But man, I mean, will the talks change then once Patrick Mahomes, if they win again and we go and they 3-peat the NFL? I mean, now the talk will definitely change. I mean, now we're talking about him and Tom Brady, him and the greats, him and the Peyton Manning, and he still has a lot to. I mean, he's still in his 20s, correct?
Yeah, he's only in his 7th or 8th year in the NFL,
right?
So he's doing, and I think that it'll change. But and I'm not saying he has to get to 7, but you got to get at least up there till 5 or 6. You got to pass up. I mean, there's still Montana out there. That man has 4 Super Bowl rings, never lost a Super Bowl.
It's so hard to get rings like that in the NFL or in any professional sport. So hats off to that team over there again. I mean, I know we talk about this the second time we talked about them, but it's tough not to recognize a team like that just seems to pull out victory after victory every week.
They find a way.
They find a way.
And that's another thing that's hard to do. Patrick Mahomes would tell you after this past game, he wasn't the reason why they had it. Their guy went up there, and they had their guy that went out there, and I'm sorry I don't know your name, but you went up there and you made that huge block to at the end of the game on like a chip shot field goal. It looked like they were going to get their first L. Denver was going to knock them off. Block field goal. Go home. Have a nice night. You lost. 16-14. Offense struggled most of the game. Travis Kelce was saying on his podcast how, he should have caught the ball. Mahomes said that he overthrew it. Should have been a touchdown before that. But, that's the kind of thing. As a Dolphins fan, we don't root for the Bills often. But this is going to be one of the last games that Kansas City has a chance to lose. We got to pop that champagne. Because the Dolphins got that only full undefeated season all the way through the Super Bowl. So we need KC to take that L today. So, Josh Allen, I don't root for you often, but today, I need you to show out.
And I think he will. I think it's going to be a really good game. That's one of those games that I think everybody will definitely be looking forward to. I don't want them to win because, like I said, Buffalo, you're in my division. I don't really care about what you do. Shout out to my Buffalo fans. I got a few buddies I know that are watching right now that are Buffalo fans. Good job, I guess. It's still killing y'all, so you're welcome. Christmas come early for you guys this year. Yeah, man. It's kind of one of those seasons where I just sit back and all I could do is shake my head and watch TV. And thank God Chicken wings are still good. Thank God tequila's still good. And Coronas are still cold because that's what I look forward to when it comes to football Sundays now. So, but I can't complain. I mean, I'm a guy who has seen 6 rings, so I mean, it's not like I can sit here and really complain
No,
about
not even a little.
what I've seen. So, um, shout out to Atlanta though, since I am talking about rings, comebacks, and Super Bowls. Shout out to Atlanta. I do like Kirk Cousins. I love what Kirk Cousins is doing over there. They kind of changed Kirk Cousins into like an Atlanta guy right now. I We're probably going to see it with gold fronts and a do rag next week. I love what they're doing over there. A lot of
I
people.
mean, he did like to wear the chains.
He did, yeah. I mean, that's Kirko right now, you know. So Captain Kirk is out here doing his thing. Even my pops thought that he wasn't gonna do anything for. I told my pops give it a chance. My dad is a die hard ATL fan, man. And it was so cool to be able to share a Super Bowl with him. And oh man,
I don't think he shares the same.
Yeah. I mean, I don't talk about it much, but my mom rags on him all the time about that comeback, that Brady comeback. You know, I let him live. I try not to bring it up because we were all there. We all saw it. It was crazy. I took a few laps around my local bar that night. It was such a great night. But yeah, man, Atlanta's looking good. I mean, there's a lot of teams that people weren't really talking about. You know, Atlanta really needed that. The Commanders really needed a change in pace. I'm loving what Detroit is doing. We spoke about Detroit last episode, and those boys. A lot of folks thought it was a fluke last year, but them boys are for real. They're really for real.
Jared Goff looking like he's trying to say, I'm a top 3 QB in the league. You don't get talked about it with too much.
Right.
I mean, you know, you always hear about Josh Allen. You hear about Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
You know, you hear about all those guys.
Even Dak, we can have a whole episode about Cowboy fans. I think we about to bring a Cowboy fan up here one day and let them boo-hoo and cry.
Definitely. We'll leave that to a midweek episode. We'll bring a Cowboys fan in here because, you know, that's going to have to be a whole episode in itself because, you know, I don't know what happened to them boys, but
we still looking for them boys. We try to figure where them boys are, but maybe next year.
They usually wait till January.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
Down early this year.
Man, Dak, jeez. But anyway.
But anyhow, you know, I have to say one more thing. Dak, did you see the video of him? They read his lips and he said, "We suck." On the sidelines.
we effing suck.
We suck.
Yeah, we effing suck. I mean, tuck the kids in. I'm trying not to drop the F-bomb, but yeah, I mean, he's right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't say nothing because we effing suck too, but it's nice to know that you know, so we don't even have to really joke to you guys no more.
Usually we got to hear all season. This is the year.
This is the year. We them boys.
Well,
nah, I don't think
division ain't as easy anymore.
Y'all ain't them boys anymore right now.
A few years ago, you know, every team in that division was awful. They would sneak their way into the playoffs. Now, outside of the Giants, who are god awful, I don't. How long is the Daniel Jones project going to go on?
Let it go for as long as possible. This could not have happened to a better team. We hate the midgets. We can't stand them.
Still bitter twice.
Still can't stand them boys. The first female quarterback to ever play in the Super Bowl, Sheila Manning. No, we don't respect him. And he had 2 good passes his whole career to happen to be in the Super Bowl. How does that happen? Trash.
Beat you twice.
Don't get me going, bro. Do not get me going on the New York Midgets. Every bad thing that happens to them is a win for the league. Not only for the Patriots, but for the league. You see how I just tuned up right now. I'm turned up, man. That shit is ridiculous. I still can't believe that.
As a Dolphins fan, we really appreciate the Giants. And plus, you know, outside, you know, I'm a New York fan and everything else in football, so I usually try to root for them Giants, but man, there's nothing to root for right now. But I'll tell you, Eli Manning kept the Dolphins as the only undefeated team in history with that great finish there, great drive to win it.
Tuck me in. There's a Starbucks up the street. I need a coffee. This is terrible.
But yeah. So I mean, games of the week. You mentioned them. Philadelphia played Washington this past Thursday. Great job, Philadelphia.
Sorry, Commanders.
Commanders, it's you thought Saquon Barkley was leaving New York only to stay in the division. You get to play that man twice. Barkley's a freak of nature.
Yes, he is. He's an X-Men.
That I mean, 199 total yards, 2 touchdowns. Fantasy owners around the world loving their Saquon Barkley.
Loving Saquon.
But
New York hating the fact. I wonder when they look at his highlights, especially when he damn near did a backflip over a man, jumped right over him backwards a few weeks ago.
Straddle jump.
Come on, man. I mean, I wonder, somebody's got to be at the house just air punching, just throwing TVs. I mean, come on, man. Y'all couldn't make that guy work with y'all? A beast like that? Come on.
I mean, they had OBJ. They had
where is OBJ?
He's with the Dolphins. He had 5 catches last week.
Oh, did he got hurt again or?
No, he's still in there. He only played two or three games.
Okay.
But when you're the third option, I mean, we got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle as well. So
that boat curse was the worst for the Giants.
Yeah.
That time that we seen all of them grown men with no shirts on and Timberland boots on a yacht. It's been the best time ever because you guys have continued to lose ever since that picture dropped. Kudos to you guys. Very sussy pick too, by the way. I'm moving on.
So, and then we also, like you said, we have Baltimore playing Pittsburgh. I think Baltimore is amazing. I believe, I'm not 100%, I believe the game is in Pittsburgh. I have to double check here real quick.
Shout out B More, Baltimore. That's how they say it. Shout out to the Wire. I'm gonna go Baltimore too because I really don't like the Steeler fan base that I work with, and it's very personal.
See, this is why you don't take our advice because we don't base it on anything other than.
I'm not stats are cool, but I'm not here for stats because the first thing y'all would get in my ass if I'm a yard wrong. Oh, he got 88. No, it was 89. This guy sucks. Get him out of here. So I try not to keep it stats. I just keep it personal. I don't like the terrible towel fan base. I got to listen to you guys every day I clock into work. Win or lose, you guys think you're amazing. This is ridiculous. It's getting out of hand. Go Baltimore. Go purple.
So where I think Baltimore is amazing, I love Mike Tomlin. My grandfather, as I was growing up, had season tickets to the Steelers. And I like Russell Wilson.
So you're a husband.
So I like Russell Wilson. I'm gonna think, even though somehow Pittsburgh has a better record, they're at home. They're still an underdog in this game. I don't know how. I think Pittsburgh. I want Pittsburgh. I want Tomlin to show them. All these people say he's an overrated coach. It's crazy. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. Not best coach. I mean, obviously you got Andy Reid out there, kind of hard to go against Andy Reid.
All he wants is a cheeseburger.
So and them nuggets.
Them nuggets. Somebody told me he's not even holding up a plate. He's just holding up the Waffle House menu. I said, man, leave that man alone. He winning. Let him hold up whatever he want to hold up.
Man, he
It's
wants
ridiculous.
That bacon, egg, and cheese hash brown bowl.
And you deserve it, sir. You are winning ball games with that team over there, so can't be mad at that.
So, and then, we take, then going to there, we have Kansas City playing Buffalo. I think Buffalo in Buffalo. Kansas City been struggling there. I think Buffalo ends up winning the game. I know you're not going to take Buffalo because Buffalo is in your division. I don't think it matters. They're going to win the division whether they lose or not.
Red is my color. I like red. We go in Kansas City. That's what the women say when they own a fantasy team. A lady told me one time. She said, "I don't know nothing about football, but I just pick the teams because I like what they look like in these colors." Unreal. And that woman went on ahead to win that fantasy that year. And that's what pisses me off the most. You don't have to know a lot about sports to enjoy them. She just likes looking at men in the type of colors that she likes. And they won. So, with that being said, I'm going with that same mentality. I don't like either team, but I'd rather see Kansas City win.
I got you. Well, I didn't bring it up yet. Dolphins got the Raiders. That's why we didn't bring it up. The Dolphins should is always the key term. Dolphins should, at home, be able to beat the Raiders. I hope so. Raiders are spinning out of control. They don't know what's going on there. Dolphins could get one game closer to being back to 500. So I think that's a dub for the Dolphins going forward. They had a big win against the Rams in LA last week. I think we can make our push and try to get that last playoff spot. Take it away from Denver.
Tuna fish.
Tuna fish is they're gonna win.
Tuna fish. We
They're
going
gonna win.
with chicken of the sea. I'm going with the Raiders. I know they still mad at Tuck Rule, but again, we got Miami. He's there in our division. I don't root for any team that is in our division besides the Patriots.
So
Go Raiders! Let's go.
So with that said, you got our man. You just hit up our man Chris Berman right there.
Yeah.
Chris Berman.
Shout out to Chris.
Chris Berman, maybe
Idol.
the biggest 49ers guy in the world. So who do you got? You got Geno out there in Seattle.
Okay.
Or do you got Brock Purdy today in San Francisco? It's actually in San Francisco, Seattle at San Francisco. Geno Smith versus Brock Purdy. And don't forget, C-Mac back. He played last week. Looked good for a first game back.
If you guys remember first episode, I always said I'm very biased. If it's not the Patriots, then I don't even understand. Well, you said Metcalf is back?
McCaffrey's back. Yes.
Oh, McCaffrey. Okay, McCaffrey's back for the 49ers. And Metcalf, he's ready, right? He's
I
ready
think
to go?
so. I think he's ready to go back too.
Well, if I remember, I think it was week 2 when we played Seattle, and Metcalf had like an 80-something yard touchdown on us. I don't forget those times. You know what I'm saying? I don't forget those feelings because I was ready to kick my TV over. So we're gonna go 49ers. Like I said, any team that kind of beat us, kind of hate you this year because we look like trash, and it's because it's your
Damn,
fault.
that's a lot of teams.
Yeah, I kind of hate the whole NFL right now. So I'm going to go 49ers. Seriously, I love McCaffrey. It's good to see him back. He's healthy. This dude is, incredible. One of those running backs. Was one of those ones. And I just hope that he can finish out the season strong and, produce for his team. But, yeah, we're going to go 49ers right there. I like them.
I agree with you 100%. 49ers. You got McCaffrey. You got Devo. I don't know who else. I know they got a lot of injuries right now.
Devo's nice.
But I don't know who's in and who's out, but it doesn't matter. You got McCaffrey healthy. McCaffrey's probably the best all-around football player in the league when he's healthy. He does get injured a lot, but
yeah, he's a running back.
He's a running back, so they get hurt a lot unless you build like Derrick Henry, and even
right.
he's had injuries.
He has injuries.
So it's one of those things where that's a tough one.
Debo, put some pants on. You look like the Pied Piper last weekend running around. That was ridiculous.
Now I got to mention, outside of maybe Washington and Dallas, even then I would say this is probably the biggest rivalry in football. Green Bay at the Bears. Bears started well, have been circling the drain here lately, but Green Bay hasn't been living up to the hype either. Jordan Love, got all that love last year,
right?
But he hasn't been at the same level this year. I believe they're 6-3. So they got a good record.
Better than us.
But they're at Chicago. I would like to see Chicago rebound. I got some friends that are good friends that for guys like you, I never root for the Patriots when they've done enough damn winning. So I got those friends that got teams that won all the time, or the friends that have the annoying teams that they like the Cowboys. But when you're a Bears fan, they kind of sit in the same level as us, although they did win way back in like '86. But they haven't seen a lot of winning. So for them, I want to see the Bears win. I'm going to go Bears upset at home over Green Bay today.
I think they're still salty from the Patriots putting it on them last week. Caleb still didn't put the extra gloss on his fingers this weekend. I think his polish is still chipped. I'm going with Green Bay. I also like cheese a lot. So.
There you go. I do like cheese.
I love cheese.
You like Swiss cheese though?
Nah.
To wear on their head.
Swiss cheese sucks, but I like
every other cheese.
I'm an American and cheddar guy myself.
There you
Gouda
go.
is good too.
Okay.
I like that too.
Well, I like pretty much any cheese, but Swiss cheese has to be melted, otherwise it's too bitter.
Smells like feet. If y'all think that smells like feet, Swiss cheese, please y'all spam that like button because just throw the whole sandwich away if you put Swiss on my. Don't do that, okay? Just don't do it.
All right. Well, now we got this one. You got a team that's underperforming and a team that's kind of sleeping. No one really paying attention to them. We got the Bengals, who's kind of underperforming win-wise. Their offense looks good at the Chargers, who are 6-3, but kind of flying under the radar, which is crazy with a team that's coached by Jim Harbaugh. They getting Herbert right, like he always does with his quarterbacks. But you got the L.A. Chargers, at home against the Bengals. Chargers, though, in their division, they're out 3 games because they're unfortunately in the same division as Kansas City.
Right.
But they got
Unfair.
that one of them lead playoff spots out there. What do you think on that one?
We beat the Bengals the first week, so if you can allow a Patriot team like that to beat y'all, there's no way you can beat a team that's actually 6-3 right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and a team and they're at home. I'm gonna go Chargers, even though the Bengals offense has been playing great, but you have a Chargers offense going against the defense that's struggling. Your guy out there is gonna have to throw 400 yards and 50 points in order to win. Chase getting 267 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns, and they still lost.
it's the wingtips, man. He should have never put wingtips in his hair. He would have been fine. I think it's the dye. It's seeping into his brain. So he looks like Zach Morris to me. I'm going Chargers.
All right. Well, I mean, there's some other games out there. You got Atlanta playing at Denver.
Go ATL, them birds.
I think Atlanta handles. I think Denver's going to still be, crying into their towels or whatever from the game last week that they blew to Kansas City. They had that game won. Detroit's playing Jacksonville. Detroit's going to get that's almost a second bye week for them.
Yeah.
If Jacksonville beats Detroit,
That's a warm up.
Jacksonville beats Detroit. That'll be the biggest upset for the season. And then there's a game that doesn't really matter except for people down in Texas on Monday. Houston's playing at Dallas.
Oh man, Dallas, please, man. If y'all gotta win. I mean,
get a dub.
Just get a dub.
It'll help my Dolphins playoff chances if y'all beat Houston.
Just get a dub. If y'all don't want people to keep talking that trash on y'all, get a dub. This has been a bad season for y'all as well. So my condolences to y'all. Y'all on paper you look phenomenal, but we all know the true problem is Jerry Jones. He 100%. Wants to coach.
Well, and their coach is off.
Well, yeah, he's gone, but Jerry wants to do everything. He wants to throw the ball, kick the ball, call the plays, coach the team, own the team, like pick the players. He probably, if he could, he'd get pom poms and cheer as well while he does all of that. I mean,
don't take away the one good thing that Dallas has. Don't take away the one.
I mean,
don't take away the one good thing Dallas has.
So I think if Jerry could just minimize what he has his hand into, I think that's a start for them to become a better football team and organization.
Listen, I don't wish harm upon anybody, but we both know that's not happening until that man passes away.
Yeah.
Not that I'm wishing anyone to pass away. Don't anyone take that the wrong way, but he's going to be in control until he passes away.
He dies.
So as a Yankee fan, Steinbrenner was the same way. He got some championships there, but man, he used to meddle in there a little bit too much at times. Mm-hmm. Joe Torre kind of held him at bay. Kind of like Jimmy Johnson back in the day held Jerry Jones at bay, but that's why Jimmy Johnson left.
Best coach that they had.
Never let him go.
Never let pride take over the reason why you are going to stop winning games. I think pride was something that stopped him. Jimmy Jones, man, Jimmy Johnson, excuse me. I mean, that guy, Lord have mercy. I mean, and now you want to give him his flowers. It's too late now. Don't do it now. Don't apologize now. You should have just
like 80 now.
Yeah, you should have man up and kept him. Y'all could have won so many more rings. I mean, unbelievable. But hey, I'm not a Cowboy fan. It's just I'm just one of them dudes. I'm an outsider looking in. So, man.
I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna bounce off the NFL. It was great talking about the NFL. We got that started. Did you catch the fight this
I did.
Friday?
I did, and I'm pissed off. I'm super pissed off about this fight. The only people who won were the Netflix people. Shout out to Netflix for making a gang of money and also making sure that nobody could watch the fight and buffering on Mike Tyson's cheeks.
Did you buffer during the actual? See, I buffered during the beginning fights, but it seemed like by the time the Tyson fight started, mine was working fine.
Yeah, mine was jumping. Mine was jumping the whole time. The first fight, the second fight, and if we could be honest, I'm an old man, so I was fading. I was in and out of sleep trying to watch that fight. So just staying up alone was tough enough for me. So I needed training just to keep my eyes open. And yeah, I mean, what I saw, I wasn't happy with it.
Man, the fights in general. Listen, I knew better. I used to watch fights with my dad every Friday night. And one of the big things was, we used to always watch. Once you get up to the heavyweights, they're less active as it is. You throw a heavyweight that's 58 years old,
right?
And the other guy's he's a YouTube influencer. You know, they're not going to be. I mean, I don't know. It's almost we all got our hopes up. We all were hyped. We saw the training videos with Tyson.
Right.
We thought we were going to come out here and see Tyson versus Spinks or
Right.
Tyson versus Holyfield or Lennox Lewis or the back in those Muhammad Ali versus Joe, Joe Frazier, and this is not going to happen. Number one, boxing is, I'm going to be honest. The second match, I'm trying to remember their names, Ramos and
Barrios,
Barrios,
Barrios, yeah, yeah.
Those two guys.
I mean to butcher his name, but yeah,
that guy was a. That guy was a. Those two games.
That was
those
a
two
good
fighters
fight.
were monsters.
That was a
They
great
were
fight.
warriors. They went back and forth. They looked like something out of a movie. I thought I was watching a Rocky movie for a second.
Both knocked each other down. They both, I mean, their faces looked like mashed potatoes afterwards. That was a fight.
That was amazing. And then the women fought next. They were the co headliner.
That was a good fight too.
That was an amazing fight. Obviously a lot of controversy on the decision.
Shorty got robbed, man.
Yeah, I think that one was a little bit, but you know how it goes. If you're the champion, you always on a close fight, you're always going to get the benefit of the doubt. But I agree. I mean, the punch count and everything showed that more punches were landed at a higher percentage. But that being said, it seemed like there was more power punches. But then you get the deduction of a point for the headbutting, and that should have been enough to overtake it. But they still had her by 1 point. Every single judge gave it to Katie Taylor. But Serrano was that Serrano. Shout out to her. She did amazing. That was a phenomenal fight.
Yeah.
And don't take it away from Katie Taylor. It was a great fight all around. She doesn't fill out the scorecard, so you can't be mad at her because of the decision to come out right. So both of them fought amazing fights. And to me, that saved the night for me because if you just turned on because you saw that the fight was starting at like 11:30, 11:50, and you just watched the Tyson fight, you wasted your time.
Yeah, that was crazy to me, man. I expected to see the Mike at least that we saw training for all of these months come on and do a little something. I mean, he looked super old immediately, and that was wild to me.
Like just walking, he looked shuffling his feet.
Yeah, it was crazy to me. Like he's moving. I watched a little documentary on Netflix, and he looked more like vibrant. I mean, he's in the street shadow boxing with his homeboys and doing whatnot, moving faster than that. So to me, I thought I was like, man, this could be staged. I mean,
I'm gonna throw out my take on it. He had the D thing on there, which wasn't on in any of his training stuff. I think he had an injury. They had already canceled and pushed it back once. He had a serious health scare back in June.
He did.
They had to push the fight back. I felt like if they had to push it back again, they felt like it would have probably just taken all the whatever out of it.
Yeah.
So they went ahead and kept it going. And to me, another thing, people hating on Jake Paul. I mean, he put the fight together. People hating like, oh, he scammed people. I think in the last couple rounds, he kind of carried Mike. He didn't want to go in there and embarrass that man at the end. Like you could see, Mike Tyson could barely breathe when he was in the corner in between rounds. He bowed down to him at the very end of the fight. I am not a Jake Paul fan by any means. I'm not a big whatever, but once again, we're not about the hating lifestyle other than joking around and having fun. We'll hate on each other's teams and stuff, but just hating a person to hate a person is crazy to me. There's so much hate in the world. So, shout out to him for putting it together. I'll tell you, I enjoyed watching the two boxing matches that did do really well there, the second and third matches. Those were amazing. Best boxing matches I've seen in 2 decades. I haven't watched a lot of boxing in the last 5-10 years, but man, I tell you what, those 2 matches were amazing. They made it worth me staying up and watching, and then just, Mike Tyson going out there and, with Jake Paul. And, the fight, like I said, is boring. I don't think Mike Tyson, they said he landed a total of like 80 punches in 8 rounds. So,
that's crazy to me. I mean, it sucked to see Mike look like that. I mean, I think all of us can agree we wanted to see this flashes of Iron Mike. We grew up seeing him knocking people down in 10 seconds, so that was crazy to see him so, I don't want to say out of shape, but just, I guess, stamina. Didn't have that. He was just winded. It looked like he was stumbling. Jake had hit him a couple times in the later rounds, and he stumbled back. He looked like somebody's grandpa out there. It was kind of cringeworthy, man, because I'm so used to seeing Iron Mike be exactly that. So, Yeah, shout out to both of them. I mean, it definitely got the attention of everybody because I don't know not one single person that I talked to that didn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna check the fight out. I'm gonna check the fight out." So
They did their job.
they got people buzzing. They got people talking. It was something. I think it was something that we could all get excited for on a Friday. Um, yeah, man, it was cool. So
They said at least 120 million people saw that fight. They said 60 million households. Guy, put that in for instance. Um, the average, like they were saying how Netflix is doing the Christmas games this year. Guys, they're expecting less than half
yeah, yeah,
of the viewers for NFL games, and that's
right,
usually what it is on Sundays. You also got to remember those games are streaming over. The NFL. Oh well, it doesn't happen during the Super Bowl when all them watch, or the World Cup. They had over a billion viewers for a while. Well, yeah, they're watching on different cable companies, different
yeah,
streaming
yeah.
services. That was one streaming service, one place you could watch it. That 120 million people watching. Of course, there was going to be some buffering. I said it before it even started. They're probably going to crash the internet.
Right, right.
So you got to understand that. But once again, had a lot of fun watching it. Watching the two fights before, just talking about it. It was a good time. Got people to talk about it again. Like you said, Mike Tyson looked like he was old. You tell me all the
Yeah,
time. We talk about all the time.
that's crazy.
Father Time
That's crazy.
is undefeated.
I didn't expect that though. Seriously, I'm glad I already was a Netflix subscriber and didn't have to pay too much money for that because if we had to pay like a pay-per-view situation, I would have been calling my local provider asking for my money back because yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, that's I just expected a little bit more. I'm kind of disappointed, but segueing over to some of the games that were kind of sprinkled in while the fight was going on. They had the Spurs in L.A. Man, what a I happened to pop back and forth to see that game too. I'll continue to say this. I know I'm probably going to sound like a LeBron fanboy for the rest of the season, but this dude is crazy right now. He continues to just do to win games. He's shooting at a high clip behind the 3 point line, over 40%. This man's in year 22. I remember when Skip Bayless was saying that he wasn't a good shooter. I guess he took that personally. AD actually is trying to stay healthy, which is crazy. I haven't seen him on the floor not once breakdancing this year. It's good to see that he's out here playing some basketball, doing what he was supposed to be doing from Jump Street. So they got a good little team over there. I love what they're doing. AR is doing his thing. Hachimura stepped up and played. They got a lot of they got some work to do, but I mean they're winning games and they definitely look better than what they did at the start of last season. So
Yeah, they did. I mean, they're playing well. The Lakers, sitting at 9-4 right now. That's obviously better than what they have been starting
right,
out.
absolutely.
People gotta remember, LeBron is what 39 now.
Yeah, he'll be 40. They said next month, I believe.
40 years old. I want you to understand. I'm 42. You're 42 also.
Yep.
So we're both 42. We out here. I can tell you, like I said, our knees hurt. Like we go out, and we play basketball. Now, obviously, he does this every single day, and I can tell you, for $50-some million, I probably could figure it out, get in really good shape, and
Absolutely.
whatever. But it just doesn't happen. He's in his 21st or 22nd season
Yeah.
in the NBA. Like you should be like crippled at this point, but he takes good care of himself. He does what he's supposed to. Like we're not going to get in a whole debate about Bronny whether he should be there, but this man's son stepped on the court at the same time as him.
Right.
I have a 16-year-old son as well, and listen, there ain't no way I'd be stepping on to any professional field with him at the same time because I'd die the second I tried to have to run as hard as I could or had to stay on a basketball court for
Right.
running as much as they do back and forth, constant run all the time. You know that's what's crazy. That's what's crazy about both him. Steph Curry 36, going on 37. They say he runs 2.5 miles per game, up
That's
and down
crazy.
through the court. That's nuts. But yeah, LeBron James, what he's doing right now is amazing. He's like third in the league in assists. He's top 10 in points scored. And that's with AD being on the team, and AD's second in the league in scoring right now behind Giannis.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but yeah, no, I think the Lakers are going to be tough. I find it hard they're going to compete for a championship. I think eventually it's hard to keep AD healthy all year. It's hard for LeBron to stay at a top level all year. That's why Golden State They went out there and got a bunch of guys that are both veterans and young. They got some young guys, got some veterans. Golden State, to me, they're doing what they're supposed to. Steve Kerr has, for the first time in his career, had Steph Curry averaging less than 30 minutes per game. He's really playing 29 minutes per game, and they're sitting at 10-2.
And that's smart. I mean, you now you're giving the man a chance to rest, and because they're going to need them. They're going to need those type of players moving down, especially further into the year, going into the playoffs. I mean, uh, yeah, it's all about trying to preserve those type of players because they do have more mileage now, and they are older players. But if we could if we could talk about more of a younger player, my man, I'm gonna start calling him Mr. Fox. This man over in
Oh, Sacramento,
Sacramento went
yes.
absolutely crazy, 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 crazy. I mean, this man is just he doesn't get the credit that I don't think he deserves.
He's in
That
Sacramento.
he's in Sacramento, I understand. But now when you add DeMar DeRozan to the mix, you got Sabonis. He's been playing well. He's been playing well for a while now.
He didn't get noticed either because he was out in Indiana. These small market teams, man, you miss out on something. If you Giannis about the only one because he's Giannis.
But yeah, that's one of those guys.
He's literally the Greek freak.
Yeah.
So, but these guys in small markets, you're missing out if you only watch the Lakers or Golden State or Boston. You're missing out. There's some really good players out there, and Fox being one of them. Fox is amazing. That
Hell, we got some people. You say you're missing out if they're not watching certain games. I got guys that say that they're basketball fans, but they don't start watching basketball till after the All-Star break or even when the start of the playoffs happen, and then they want to talk to me about basketball. Sir, you missed the whole season. Um, you just read the little footnotes, and now you're trying to say that you watch basketball. You don't watch basketball. So nah, I think people. It's a football thing for a lot of people. A lot of people will tell you that they post Michael Jordan, people have lost interest in the game of basketball because honestly they've changed the game.
I'm not gonna lie. I missed the game last night. I knew Fox got 60.
I think he got 69.
I think he got. Did he get 69?
I believe it was 69. I might be wrong, but it was. I believe it was 69.
He got 62 nights ago.
Yeah.
He got 49 last night.
That's what it was. Okay.
So he's gotten 109 points, and that wasn't back to back games. That was back to back nights.
Yeah.
They played back to back nights. He scored 60 and 49, 109 points in 2 games. That's insane. So I saw the 60-point game. I was watching that one on Friday night. I was bouncing back and forth between that and the fights. I actually, I don't know how many TVs did you have going.
I just had one. I just had one on this time. Yeah, I was really focused on just the trying to watch this boxing fight and just going back between the Spurs and LA game. I still had to see what Webber was doing and what LeBron was doing.
I had the computer, the tablet, and the phone and the TV rolling. There was too much stuff going on. Like,
right.
I got the NBA stuff, so I do that. So yeah, no, I love watching basketball. I think people were crazy. I did fall off a little bit there after Michael Jordan retired, but now like you got KD, LeBron, Steph Curry, all those the old guard, and then you have guys like Fox, LaMelo out there in Charlotte.
Yeah, he's balling right now.
He's playing he's third in the league in scoring or fourth in the league in scored or something like that right now. He's playing out there playing well. There's some young guys that are playing really well right now. You can't sleep on them. So I like watching it. We went back and played basketball. That's where we met and everything. We're basketball guys, football guys, baseball guys. And then whatever's big in the sports world right now.
Right.
Give shout outs to some other sports when there's some big stuff going on. But that's our 3 main: baseball, football, basketball. It's not baseball season right now. We haven't brought up that too much.
Right. Anybody but the Yankees. Shout out to the Dodgers. We love y'all. Hey, I was this close to getting the Dodgers hat the other day and just wearing it around just because. Yeah.
Oh,
anybody but them Yankees. I know I'm going to get hate for it, and I accept it.
I'm going to get you a custom hat.
I'm here for it. I'm
Anybody
here for all the
hate.
Yankees. Anyone but the Yankees.
I'm going to get you this with the. I mean, I know this is the Dolphins. I'm going to get you my Yankee hat back here.
I'm not wearing that.
It's going to have the circle with the red through it. It's going to cross through the Yankees and then put on anybody but the Yankees on the hat.
I like Jay-Z, and I still won't wear a New York hat.
So,
So that's no, we're not doing that.
so
No, sir.
well, we got all that covered. We covered the football. We covered a little bit about Tyson. We got a little bit about there on the
Mm.
basketball and stuff going on right now. Um, that's kind of where we're going. We're gonna try to get back with you guys, midway through the week or whatever. Try to get a secondary one up. This isn't what we do for a living. We have jobs.
Yeah, but if you spam those subscribe buttons and you share, you might get to see me and Jeremy every single day.
We'll do it every day. If you can get it to where we don't have to work all the time, every day.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, send it to us. And put down in the comments if you want to hear
Yeah.
about a specific game.
Let us know.
If you want our thoughts on a game, pick
Yeah.
a sport. I don't care. Pick hockey. We'll figure it out. We'll look at it.
We don't even have to talk sports. We can just sit up here and talk about crazy stuff all day long.
If you have a movie you want us to watch, we can sit down and watch a movie. We'll tell you what we thought of the movie. If you have a restaurant you want us to try, we like to eat. We like to eat. Hey,
make sure tequila's there.
Big Sam's Inlet Cafe down by the Rudy Inlet down there. That's where me and Kate went last night. Shout out to you guys. Excellent atmosphere. Excellent food.
Okay.
Excellent food last night. I had the crab cakes.
I ordered in last night. I just had me and my wife had hamburgers. We had little hamburgers from Chili. Shout out to those little smash chili burgers that they have over
Chili's
there.
burgers are good.
They're fire, and it's cheap too in this economy. Fellas, get you a woman that don't mind that 3 for $10. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That 3 for $10. They brought us 3 different things and a fat burger.
We got good ones, man.
But it was like $30. That was like a little date night. I don't mind. Pockets aren't hurt. We can still do something the next day.
We're not. I was the expensive one. Like I said, I got the crab cakes and stuff. We went to the seafood restaurant. Kate ordered wings.
Yeah. Shout out to Kate. Shout out to Kate. Wings are never a bad idea in any time.
So she got the wings. She liked the wings. She was killing the blue cheese dressing. They have the homemade blue cheese dressing there. So she was loving that. So
always a win.
Excellent food there. If you want restaurants, movies, anything like that you want us to review, we'll check them out. If you want to go ahead and have us talk about a certain sporting event or game, UFC fight, whatever, we'll check it out. Just let us know.
Patriot fans, spam this button. We could talk Patriot talk all day, Celtic talk all day.
And I have no problem talking shit about all of them all day.
I'll even get into more. I'll get into more hockey just so we could talk about Bruin talk. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this
Rangers.
is who? This is here.
Rangers.
And why y'all got a whole bunch of teams anyway, and they all suck in New York? This is ridiculous. Oh, shout out to the Liberty. I think that's the only team that I can appreciate in New York, just because of
WNBA champions
Sabrina Ionescu. I definitely like her. She is like a Curry of the WNBA. She was before Caitlyn. I think the only reason why she didn't get the credit she got is because that was in COVID time. She was Caitlyn before Caitlyn. This woman was 3 buckets away from beating Steph Curry.
Yeah.
So in a 3-point shootout.
Hey, and guys, we'll be talking about WNBA when it comes back on because I enjoyed it this past season.
I loved it, but I've been loving it though.
I've watched it. This past season was more fun because I feed into the crowds, and the crowds were filling up. There was lots of people there. They were getting excited. You could tell the women out there, they were getting excited. They were getting pumped with having the bigger crowds. And we are the best of friends, but we'll talk trash on a basketball court any day of the week, especially if we're on the opposite team. We'll talk trash to each other. We talk trash in 21. That's part of playing basketball. And I loved seeing all the haters out there on Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
They just out there hating on them. Guys, they don't care.
This is part of the basketball game that they play.
That hate gets them likes, it gets them watches.
Yep.
More people watch the game.
Exactly.
More people talk about it.
Exactly.
So hey, hate on us. We don't care.
Yeah, please hate, but make sure you like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Before you hate. After you hate, like and subscribe. Before you hate, like and subscribe. We really don't care. Just like and subscribe and share. Just share. Spam that share button, baby, because we not leaving.
No, we enjoy doing this. Don't care if nobody watches, but we want you to watch. We want you to do it. Share. Share with all your friends.
Absolutely.
We'll throw this up there.
They will.
Are we about done?
I think that's it, guys. Happy Sunday. I hope all your predictions come true in the football world. Go Pats.
Dolphins going to win. Here we go. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Take it easy now.
All
Peace.
right, we'll be back later.